Hey there, Ulti Zeta here. Welcome back to more Let's Play Pokémon Scarlet. In the last episode, we got to Medagoza, the only town that I have a memory of what it's called, and it will probably not last in my memory for very long. This is the place where the school is. We climbed some stairs, saved a girl from being inscripted into the bully club, and now we're going to go into the building. Hooray! Building! It's orange in here. Here we are, Ulti. Welcome to Nemona Academy. Here's the entrance hall. You can sign up for all kinds of classes at the desk behind me, and those halls off to the sides all lead to different parts of the school. It's totally big enough to let loose and battle in here, but for some reason they banned Pokemon battling in the main entrance. Hello. I commuted. You've champion ranked. Hooray. We saw Team Star kids. We did! It was down the stairs. They were hassling this kid with an Eevee backpack. Ulti flexed on him and ran off. Yeah, I punched him in the face. Fine thing to try to help a fellow student, but you might wish to show a bit of restraint. Do you remember that the school staff is here to resolve these troubles? That might have been Miss Penny. I'm relieved to hear she's coming to class at least. Do report to Mr. Jacques about this Team Star nonsense. We're in class 1A, yay. It's time for school. Look at all these kids with the same animation. Good morning, Mr. Jacques. I don't know how this is actually pronounced, so... We have exciting news. We have a new friend. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Hi, it's me. I'm a new student. Apparently I'm joining in the middle of the school year. I'm Ulti. What's my favorite thing about Pokemon? I like to battle with them. Nemona has a question. What do you hope to get out of it? I have some kind of dream, right? I'm here because the game... I guess I want to be a strong trainer. I'm here in school because the game forces you to be in school. He teaches biology. That's my seat. Hooray. You can tell that it's not important, because none of these characters mean anything, and most of them are just, like, very basic. I can now move around the school. Let's go to cafeteria. Let's eat food. Oh my oh my god, Arvin just like manifested. We can buy sandwiches if we wanted. You know, I understand that like they kind of need to realistically like they gotta sell stuff for them to, like, so that you don't just get, like, infinite supply of these things. But, like, aren't boarding schools supposed to just feed you, like, just because? Like, isn't that part of, like, the fee to be going to a boarding school is you get food? We're not, like, at a university where, like, the cafeteria is, like, a separate, like, area. I don't know, it strikes me as strange. Like, in-universe, but I don't know, maybe it's not impossible. I don't know. I've never been to a boarding school. Hi, I remember you, Arvin. That's my little know-it-all, buddy. Got a mind like a steel trap, eh? No need to tell me your name. Bolty, right? Well, the school seems to be talking about you. You went to one class and you said you liked Pokemon. Totally don't fit in here. The new kid who showed up with the president of the student council. Okay, I guess that would make sense. I normally wouldn't even bother showing up for class, but I came all the way to school today just to talk with you, our new celebrity. How did you hear any hearsay about me if you didn't... What? That timeline doesn't make sense. You came to school because you heard about me, but where did you hear about me if not at school? Like, I know that we fought at the lighthouse, but that was a very different scenario. Whatever. You gotta help me out so I can finally make my dream a reality. Happy to help. What kind of little maniac says yes to something without even knowing what they're agreeing to? Well, this might come as a surprise, but the fact is, I'm all about that picnic life. The great outdoors, the perfectly prepared sandwiches, all of it. Not half bad at cooking either, I can tell you. Right now, I'm researching new recipes that'll help Pokemon feel better. Real health food, see? I found this book the other day, and it had a section about these Herba Mystica things. Basically, there's some kind of special herbs that heal up any Pokemon as soon as it eats them. Now, there are a total of 5 different types of Herba Mystica, based on what I read. Just taking a little lick of them once they've been powdered will get your blood flowing, provide nutrients, prevent aging, it'll even boost the immune system. We'll become immortal! These herbs seem like they're the real deal, only found here in Paldea and rare to boot. But this book says they're all guarded by Titan Pokemon, meaning that it's gonna be pretty tough to try to grab even a few sprigs. Cause, see, Titans are, well, I think they gotta be things like this. Monsters of Area Zero. As we descended further into Area Zero, we began to catch glimpses of mysterious Pokemon. Though we wondered if these huge, ferocious beasts were indeed Pokemon at all. One of our team suffered a brutal blow from such a beast and was mortally wounded, forcing us to retreat for a time. A member of the Survey team captured this photograph by chance. I had noticed a passing resemblance to the Pokemon known as Donphan, yet its differences such as its sheer size and the shape of its back set it apart, as do its great tusks. I really want to get those herbs for myself, but I'm not very good at Pokemon battles. Don't have any friends with strong Pokemon to lend me a hand either. I never hear the end of it if I went crawling to that student council girl. But here you waltz up. You've got to help me out with this. You'd be perfect. Sure. Nope, wait, I don't even answer yet. I'll just register the places where it seems there might be Titans in your map app to for you. Your phone case looks like Yoshi's. False Dragon Titan, Quaking Earth Titan, Open Sky Titan, Lurking Steel Titan, Stony Cliff Titan. The Titan's lairs have been added to your map app. Our map. Meet Path of Legends. One of 3 story paths in this game. Let's do a bit, and we can get more into details later. And in the meantime, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. A little gift for listening and all. We obtained a bag of Stardust. Thanks for the money. Bribing me, I see. Give the idea some serious thought, please! Okay. Who let bees into the cafeteria? Buzz, buzz. Alright. That's not how you spell nutrients. Why is it spelled like this? It has to be intentional, so like, why is it spelled like this? Whatever. In far-off regions, people eat the like. Yeah, that was Gen 8, and I never really did it. Rotototototo! We're getting a phone call. This is Ulti, correct? I hacked your smartphone so I could talk to you. Hope you don't mind. I do mind. Goodbye. Well, as far as you're concerned, it means I'm basically in control of your phone right now. I can access all of your personal data and records and images. And passwords. My name's Cassiopeia. But never mind that. It's you I want to talk about. I hear you're a trainer with serious potential. If that description is accurate, there's something I'd like to ask of you. And in exchange, I won't destroy all of your personal records and make your life a living hell by hacking into your phone. Tell me, Ulti, you know about Team Star, right? Yeah, vaguely. Great, I appreciate you being upfront here. Team Star is a group of troublemakers formed by some academy students a while back. They cause headaches for the school and try to bring other students down to their level. And I refuse to sit idly by and let them get away with it. So I've come up with a plan to bring down Team Star and force them to disband for good. I call it Operation Starfall. But I'll need allies to carry out this operation, and I'd like you to be one of them, or else. What if I say no? No need to reply right this second. We can discuss the details some other time. Till then, I'll leave you to it. Bye. Hi. Please try to keep your voice down if you're making calls within the school, won't you? Sure. You don't anyone else overhearing any personal information, after all. Yeah, we only want the hacker to have my personal data. Honestly, there are so many things we need to be careful about in this day and age. On you go then, young lady. Goodbye. Team Star, you say? He was listening in on the conversation. What's flickering there? Why are the Pachirisu flickering? Why is this book separate? Okay, it's just a tutorial book. Okay. There's a thing to go with Nemona, so where do I go for that? I need to activate her, too. Okay, I just go to one of these things. Staff room. Hello. Look at your hair. Very well, Champion Nemona. I trust you to handle this in my stead. Sure thing. Hello. Pardon me. Hi. Who was that? Pique your interest. That lady, well, they call her La Primera. She's strong, she can do pretty much anything, she's got cool practically coming out of her ears. Is that what you call her hairdo? Because I call it excessive. She's basically everything I want to be. Nah, you're much cooler than her. Remember in homeroom when I asked what your dream is? Your heart's setting out on becoming a really strong trainer. I've got an idea for you. You should try to reach champion rank, like me. Sure. Hang on though, I got a whole spiel I want to give you. Here goes. The trainers who reach champion rank are the ones who raise their Pokemon really strong. They're pro-tier battlers. Their moves keep the edge, blah 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 blah. This is the main story of any Pokemon game. You take on 8 Pokemon gyms and win so you can collect their gym badges. Then we get to become a champion. You get to leave school and have an adventure. She wants to get stronger. So she's gonna give me all the gym locations. Zoopy zoopy. Look at all these gyms. One's in Medali, one's in Cascarafa, one's in Cortondo, one's in Alfornata, one's in Montenevera, one's in Glaziato, one's in Levincia, and one's in Artisan. The Pokemon gym locations have been added to your map app. Victory Road is the name of this story quest. It's the second of 3. Can you guess what the third one is? Give it some thought. So this is basically how they organized and structured this game. Is basically you're able to like do these story quests. Like, so you got the evil team with Team Star. That's the third one, of course. I don't know why we didn't get a title drop for it yet, but you know that's the third one. Then there's Arben's Quest, which is this kind of like new separate thing, kind of based on raid battles, like from Pokemon Go or like sort of Gen 8's, like, you know, raid den stuff, sort of. And then there's the usual traditional stuff, and, like, the way it is, like, it's kind of an open world game, so, like, you just can, like, go along these paths and do them in whatever order you want, sort of. And so that's kind of how they structure the game. So it's a neat thing. I do like it in concept. Execution, well, I'll get to that. Anyways, the characters with weird hair are the characters who are main characters, sort of. But we don't get to talk to them. They're all teachers. Hello. They don't have anything to say, but that's why they have weird hair, like this guy. But they don't have much to actually say. Anyways, we must go to the director's office. He must direct us to do something. You have trophies. What are they for? Oh, we can't read the plaques. Have you been enjoying your time here at Nemona Academy for one day? No, it's school. You might be wondering why we could not simply converse earlier in the cafeteria. Let me assure you, there's a reason why I asked you to meet me here in my office. A friend of mine has a rather serious matter they would like to discuss with you. But there's nobody here. They aren't actually here in this room with us. One moment, please. Just allow me to connect us. They're on the TV. They're a celebrity. Hello. A cave woman in a lab coat. Hello, Ulti. It is nice to meet you. My name is Professor Sada. I carry out Pokemon research within the Great Crater of Chaldea, at a site known as Area Zero. Okay. The professor is, in fact, a graduate of our fine academy, as well as a splendid researcher. Well, allow me to get straight to the point. Ulti, student ID number 805C393. You are the student who travels with the unusual Pokemon Koraidon, is that correct? Yes. Thank you, I appreciate that you are honest in confirming the facts. Looks like Arvin told his mom on us. Not that I do not mean to offend you. In fact, I wish to ask for your assistance. Assistance? With what? Hello. He came out unprompted. How good to see that you are well. It's been quite a while since we last met. Yes! Koraidon was once in my care, you see. Its Pokeball was also originally mine. I assume you received it from a young man called Arvin. I am no longer in any position to be able to manage that Pokemon myself. This is what I would ask of you. Will you continue to looking after Koraidon on my behalf? I do appreciate your agreement. Hooray, now we officially have him. Koraidon has been greatly weakened and is currently incapable of battle. It can, however, take on a form specialized for mobility. In all likelihood, it would require some time to fully regain the capabilities it once had. I'll provide you with my contact information. If you would please get out your phone. I'll be in regular contact going forward to keep tabs on your status. Cool. Until then. And for the record, if we were playing Pokemon Violet instead of a cave woman, we would have had a hot man. So, the professors change based on which game you play, among a couple of other things. Could this Pokemon have its origins within Area Zero? I don't know. Sada, don't tell me you actually did it. Ominous. Ammonite. If I ever get an Ammonite, that would be a good name for it, Ominous. I'll keep that in mind. Seems the professor is asking quite the favor of you. Okay. Well, cool. Hi, Nemona. Mr. Jakku wanted me to show you the way to your room in the school dorms. My very own private room. I wish dorms were like that. But the one time I had a dorm experience, I had to share it. And it was miserable, and I never want to do it again. Ta-ta-ta-chan! I don't know what that word means. From today on, this is your room, Ulti. It's new to me as it is to you. Never been here before. Look, we have a bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Then we can battle even more. Hooray. We can wrestle. Who needs Pokemon when I can punch you in the face? Because that's what you do in wrestling. This leads to the bathroom. My own personal kitchen. I don't have a fridge? Is this supposed to be a fridge? I can't select anything. So, like, this is my own personal kitchen. Like, the cabinets are fine. I got a microwave, but, like, there's no fridge. What kind of dorm room that had... There isn't even, like, a mini fridge or anything. Where are you gonna keep groceries or anything if you're gonna, like, buy... If you're gonna be cooking? Like, if you're gonna give us a kitchen, give us a fridge! Who designed this place? Like, I would understand not having a kitchen. I didn't have a kitchen in my dorm room that I had. And I had to manually bring in a mini fridge. But, like... That is absolutely wild. There's also, like, no laptop or computer or anything. I understand the school not supplying that sort of thing, but, like... If you look at this from, like, a school perspective, like, this is just... I don't know, it feels kind of embarrassingly empty. I know we just got here, but, like, we don't have anything to unpack. We don't have luggage. We don't have anything. Man, going to school here would suck. Okay, the game wants us to sleep. Good night. It's time for school. Time skip. The days quickly fly by. Alas, the day arrives for your true adventure to begin. Why? What is the orange flash? I assume it's becoming sunset for a brief moment, but like it's like a seizure almost. Flashbang of like just one frame of orange for some reason. Alright, well, we get to skip all the classes. Ah, you broke in. It's time! Let's go to the schoolyard. Well, there are some books here now. Still no laptop or computer or anything. Which is absolutely wild. It's like a couple of books. There's like nothing else. What are these posters? Probably school related. There's a way to like zoom in, right? I think it's this button? No, it's screen capture. I thought it was like you double tap screen capture. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's double tap home. Yeah, it's double tap home. I can't really tell, like, this is... obviously, they're illegible. But, like, I can't tell what they're, like, really supposed to be. This would, I would guess, is, like, a schedule, maybe for classes or something like that. But it's not enough date. There's not enough days, so it's not a calendar, but it could be, like, Monday through Friday, although I don't know what the red would be, per se. But this one, I don't know, it seems to be kind of a notice. But then, like, I'm just looking at everything else here. Like, there's a washcloth. Like, oh my god. What? Hang the washcloth on fucking something. Jesus Christ. Don't just leave it on the countertop. And there's still no fridge. This just feels depressing. Like, there's not even, like, a cool poster or anything. Like, put up a poster of, like, the starter Pokemon you get. I don't know. Where's, like, the Pokemon accommodations? They're supposed to be friends. There's not even, like, a little pet bed for any of them. Like, at the very least, there should be one for the starter in this situation. This just... This whole thing does not matter as soon as I leave this room. It's never going to matter, but... I've never actually stayed in this room and, like, analyzed it in any capacity. Man. Also, there's a bathroom here. There's no closet. I guess this is where we would put clothes in, but this feels like it would be too small for clothes. I don't know. I've always had a closet for clothes. So I guess they could go in here. And considering that we are only ever allowed to have our school uniform, I probably don't have other clothes. So whatever. Alright, well, let's just continue. Okay. Hooray. I don't know, I'm amused at, like, analyzing some of this stuff. There are details that don't matter to most anybody, but they matter to me now. Anyways, it's time I explained your independent study assignment. As usual, the theme will be a treasure hunt. I ask each of you to set out and travel the world in search of your own treasure. You'll all learn much within the walls of our fine academy. You'll just have to trust me on that, but you all have learned a lot. It's now time to turn your eyes upon the wider world and deepen your understanding. Explore Paldea's abundant nature, soak in its rich culture. Discover the Pokémon that live here. And get to know the people, too. And the Golduck. Where will you travel? Who will you meet? And what will you achieve? Of course, your Pokémon partners will be there to help you. You will journey together, learn new things together, share each other's thoughts and feelings, and find something you might always treasure. I look forward to welcoming you all back after your independent study, when you return to us as fine young trainers. Let the treasure hunt begin. Onward! So, I'm thinking now more about, like, the premise of this game, and I'm just kind of, like, wondering, like, what would happen if, like, a student got in trouble on this, like, big, like, nature quest, you know? Like, there's no supervision. So, like, what would happen if, like, say at the end of this, like, and everyone's supposed to come back, what if a student didn't come back? What if they got lost in the woods somewhere? or, like, who would be responsible? Or, like, heaven forbid, what if something... Like, like, remember, the Great Crater of Paldea is exceedingly dangerous. Entering it is a violation of school rules. What if a kid went into this Great Crater and died or something? Like, this is the kind of thing that like, there's a reason why most, like, field trips have chaperones. I'm not saying that I want the game to have chaperones. Like, the game structure is fine in the way it is. It's just, like, looking at this as, like, basically this giant extended, like, internship slash field trip slash, like, whatever, I don't know, it kind of makes sense, but it's so weird to me that, now that I'm thinking about it, like, how does the school actually run this? I know Pokemon is usually, like, a utopia in enough sense, like, they're not exactly going to be talking about, like, restrictions and, like, governments and whatnot. Usually, the most we get in that regard is, like, the Pokemon League, and then vague, like, ideas of, like, other bodies, like detective, the police's, like, looker agency and whatnot, and, like, things like that. But for the most part, it's just kind of, like, glossed over, because it's not really important, you know. But it's just kind of funny to really kind of think about and try to take it a little more seriously, you know? I don't know, that's the thing, I'm not criticizing the game here, it's just kind of, like, if I had to criticize anything, it's mainly the school premise in general. Because, like, the other thing is, like, now that we're leaving the school right now, it doesn't matter. We don't really come back here unless you really want to do, like, completely worthless lessons that basically teach... It's basically the trainer school in other games, where it's, like, you get some basic information, which is good for, like, people who don't have that information, but it's also, like, a really big step down from other things, like a more organic trainer school, or like Wind and Fire Red and Leaf Green, you can just press the L button and get a list of things to learn about. Instead, if you want to get, like, lessons, you have to sit through cutscenes and come all the way back here. What is going on with the shadows on this railing? Why are they changing at all? What is going on? Nothing is moving here. Why are the shadows changing? Whatever. Point isn't to getting us all looking to hidden treasure. We're just making our own adventures to see what experience the Paldea has to offer. You could try to beat Pokemon gyms, you could help people in need, you could hunt for real capital T treasure if you wanted even. There's stuff we'd never learn sitting in a classroom, you know? This is our chance to learn it. Also, there's this sensation of, like, even putting aside, like, the dangers, like, you're basically telling kids who are in school, hey, go out and do whatever the hell you want. There's, like, realistically a 99% chance that none of them do any studies whatsoever. Have you met any kid, any teenager, anybody. If you don't make them do something, or give them incentive to do something, they're not really going to do it. And just brushing it off as, like, they can do whatever they want and, like, explore Paldea, like, I don't know, if you told me to do this when I was a kid, I would have just sat home playing video games. And I was somebody who didn't mind school and didn't mind learning, but but people need, like, some sort of motivation to get into that learning process. There's not really enough of, like, I don't know, it seems too open-ended to me to really work in any capacity if you really, like, take this outside of the video game context. Even beyond, like, the liability issues. It's just, like, fundamentally, I don't see how this does what it's trying to say it's doing. But yeah, that's the other thing, like, the school, once we leave here, and if we don't really care about going to tutorials, then there's no other reason to ever come back. The school is basically worthless, which also makes the uniform stuff even more annoying. Anyways, Arvin's here. Hello. Insider advantage? Sheesh, you make it sound like we're cheating or something. All I did was suggest that you check out the gyms. It's up to Ulti wherever she goes. Ulti's gonna have her hands full searching out Titan Pokemon with me. She doesn't have time to waste on something like chasing after the champion rank. Me and her are gonna be too busy visiting the lairs of Titans and nabbing their Herba Mystica. And Syria, don't go filling her head with weird stories. Hey, all I did was invite her along. It's still up to Ulti whether she goes, right? Rototo-toto! And hello, mysterious hacker person. Hey, Ulti. Guess it. You're trying to steal my intro. I see what you're doing, Cassiopeia. It wasn't enough to hack into my phone and get all my information. Now you're stealing my identity, too. Fine. It's about Operation Starfall. Remember what I told you about before? Team Star is made up of 5 individual squads, and each one's got their own base. I need to go to each base, all 5 of them, and beat the squad boss there. Team Star's grunts might try to get in your way, but I'll be helping you out, from a distance. And heads up that the bosses each specialize in a different Pokemon type. Just remember the names of the crews, and you'll figure it out. Still, no need to worry. With your skills, I'm sure you're more than up to the task. I'll just go ahead and add the base's locations to your phone for you. And the last 5 things. The Fairy Crew, the Dark Crew, the Fighting Crew, the Poison Crew, and the Fire Crew. The Team Star bases have been added to your map app. Starfall Street. I guess that's why the third thing didn't show up, because we didn't get the map app stuff yet. Good luck with those bosses. I'll hook you up with some nice rewards every time you beat one. Wait a second. Who are you supposed to be? In Team Star, those punks are a serious hazard. They're not Ulti's problem. They're troublemaking kids. Whatever. That's right, because she got more important things to do, like searching out awesome ingredients with me. Thought it was all up to Ulti to decide whether she goes or not. Wasn't that what you said, Nemona? And Arvin? Ah, so they're spying on all of us. This person is absolutely not to be trusted. In any capacity. How do you know my name? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you can pull off, Ulti. Bye. What was all that about? They're just being a creep. I'm glad you're making plenty of friends here, but try not to get dragged into anything dangerous. They're not a friend. They hacked my phone. They're blackmailing me. Anyway, no more weird vibes. We got a big adventure to start. I'm gonna battle every single Pokemon trainer I meet. If I just keep trying to become the strongest, I bet that experience will be the thing I treasure. Okay. Gyms look like that. Oh, and I know we've been running our mouths, but it's your call what to do, Ulti. Go where you want and do what it is you really want to do the most. A treasure of our very own. For me, that's got to be the... my big dream is tracking down the Herba Mystica, that is. Once we get those herbs, I'll make you the absolute best sandwich you've had in your life. He heard the magic word. He wants another sandwich. You're not getting one. Yeah. Seems like it wants to start moving. Is it telling you to get on, Ulti? Press the plus button to jump onto Koraidon. We have a mount. Anga! It transformed. Now it really looks like some weird kind of Cyclizar. long as you got Koraidon, you can go pretty much anywhere. Paldea's your cloister. Yeah, maybe. Well, if you're going to search for those Titan Pokemon, I'd say set out from the East Gate. But since Ulti is actually headed to take on some gyms, I'd say go for the West Gate. Besides, it's way too easy to get lost out east. Man, this is why I can't get along with you. I'm out of here. Catch up soon, little buddy. I'll head to a gym. See you around, Ulti. I feel like I've been very negative despite everything that I've been saying so far. So I will say, I really like Nemona and Arven. I feel like they are characters who I just really enjoy. I like the banter between them. I like the vibes they have. Oh. Okay, this is a DLC thing. I was wondering what this was, as we stared at the front-facing Koraidon the entire time. That's a DLC. Well, I'll come back and do that later. I didn't realize that that's... Okay, so the DLC is just available immediately. Okay, so now we can ride on Koraidon. Hop around. Now we can jump. So that's fun. I just hopped over a fence, and it's taking me to a loading screen. Okay, well... I guess I'm here now. So... let's look at this map. Pokédex. Let's look at this map, as it gives me information. So, here's the thing about this map. So there's basically all these different destinations on our map now. We're down here, and we can just go anywhere, except for this giant hole in the center of Spain. Sorry to anybody who lives in Spain, this whole place got nuked. Also, Portugal has just been merged. So, and over here is Kalos, supposedly. I don't know. You can't go over here. So yeah, you have basically all these other biomes. Everything's separated into, like, honestly, really kind of generic names. You have Area 1, Area 2, Area 6, Area 4, and of course the center is Area 0. And then there's the desert. Area 2, still. South Province Area 2? West Area. There's multiple Area 2s, apparently. Yeah, okay, so they're separated into, like, names. Like, this, the Area 2 stuff is, like, it seems to be, like, other things. So, here's the problem with all of this, though, what I would say. Logically, it's giving you this whole thing of, like, hey, you can go anywhere you want to. So, like, it gives you all these spots on the map, and there's nothing stopping you from going all the way up to Glaciado Mountain, which is as far as you can get from where you start. Because you start here, you can go all the way over here and fight this guy first if you really want to. That's what you would assume, right? From, like, you know, the layout of everything and, like, how it's presented this to you and, like, everything. Except that's not how it works. That's why I said I like the execution of this game, like, on paper, but not necessarily in execution. There is an order that you're supposed to do things in, specifically because of levels. There's a level order that all these things kind of have. And the problem is nothing scales, nothing scales, so if you go here, this is near the end of the game, you get destroyed, essentially, if you're not prepared for it. So the stuff that's closer to you is lower leveled. And I think that is also relatively fine. I don't think that's a bad thing to have. Like, you know, other open world games have areas that are, you know, intended for late game stuff. I don't think that's inherently the problem. The problem is the game doesn't tell you this. Nothing about it gives you any order. There is an order to do these things in, and you don't know what it is. To me, the problem with that comes from the idea. When I first played this game, I played it once, and I just went in a big circle. I went this way, around the map. And I thought the game was doing pretty well. I was having the fun time going from here, then this way, this way, this way, this way, and I was like, oh, this is going pretty well. Then I got up to here, and this is where it peaked. Then I went to over here, and suddenly I was fighting things weaker than what I just did, and I was like, what the heck is going on? And by the time I got down here, which is supposed to be near the start of the game, because the actual order you go through things is like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's very weird. Like, you're not supposed to just go in a big circle. You're supposed to go back and forth, and it's just annoying. But basically, by the time I got over here, everything was so pathetically easy that the second half of the game had nothing for me. And I feel like my experience with Scarlet ultimately was kind of negatively impacted by just not knowing. Because I think it would be fine to kind of understand that's what you're doing if you just keep going this way. But, like, I didn't know that this stuff was going to be so much weaker, and I would have preferred to come here at an earlier point. Because there was also a lot of times when I got to one of these things and I was like really pushing myself through because I was like, oh wow, this is kind of higher level than I would expect. I remember really struggling with this guy. And so it's just like, it kind of pisses me off that like I didn't know that the game doesn't tell you that there are levels to these things, that the levels don't scale, and that there's a specific order that the game kind of wants you to do these things in. So I feel like it's just trying to have its cake and eat it too, where it's like it gives you an order, but it also wants to seem like it's open-ended when it's not actually that open-ended, but it is still also mechanically open-ended enough. It's this weird middle ground that I just don't think works. I feel like they should have either had level scaling, or they should have told you the order that you're supposed to do these things in. One or the two. The fact that they don't do either just makes it frustrating. I think I'm actually supposed to, like, leave from a different entrance from the city. I think it put me in a place that's not exactly ideal. But yeah, that's my rant about the execution of this game, and that's one of the criticisms of this game that I never see people talk about. Because, again, everybody's always so focused on the game's performance and graphical issues, which, again, they exist. I just wish they didn't overshadow literally everything else about this game. I agree, they're a problem. I think this game runs awfully, frankly. I do not condone it. I think it's bad. I think this game needed, like, another, at least half a year to just get some decent polish. And I think it's a mar on this game forever that this game looks like this. And plays like this. It is the only Nintendo game I have ever experienced where the game just flat out crashed on me without doing anything weird. When I first played this game, the game crashed on me multiple times, and it wasn't even like an issue of like a memory leak thing or anything. Because like whenever I leave the game, I close the game. I don't leave it on even when my Switch is in sleep mode. So, like, I always close the game when I'm done, but, like, so it wasn't a memory leak thing. The game just crashed on me a couple times, just flat out from playing the game, which has never happened to me with a Nintendo official licensed product. I just wish the game ran better so that other criticisms with the game felt like they mattered more. So that's kind of like my annoyance with it. Is like, I don't like that it overshadows the other criticisms of the game, because like, there are legitimate like problems with the game otherwise. I don't think like the open world mechanics work the way the game kind of expected them to, and I think that's the problem. Toto. It's Nemona. We're going this way. But no one talks about it because everyone's so busy on being like, oh my god, the frame rate's terrible, oh my god, look at all these graphical glitches. It's like, I don't know. It does bug me. And again, like, I've been doing that too. Like, those rocks just morphed in front of my eyes, and I also just stepped on an olive. So, like, I do agree that there are these problems. But, like, it's the sense of, like, they're not the only problems with this game. And I just wish that, like, they weren't so egregious, such that, like, other criticisms with the game felt like they were things that actually mattered to talk about comparatively. I don't know. That Happini is really scared. It doesn't like what it's seeing. Tommy wants to learn Charge. I guess this is another thing that I can say I don't love about the game a little bit. I kind of, at the very least, it's kind of like a personal preference thing. I miss, like, I like the way that they, like, make the battles, like, take place in this world, in the world that you're in, as opposed to, like, just this weird pseudo area. It is, like, it is an upgrade in that regard, but I kind of miss, like, the dynamic camera angles that, like, Gen 6 and 7 had. I think even Gen 8 had them, I don't remember. I've already forgotten Gen 8 in that sense. But, like, I'm just thinking about, like, the 3DS games and, like, how many, like, the zoom-ins it would have, like, and everything. And then we get this, and it's like, all the camera movement is just me doing stuff, and, like, there's no, it doesn't feel dynamic. It also feels way slower. But I don't know, I'm like, if I don't even bother to do anything, like, it just feels kind of bland. Why are you crying? Your defense rose, but I'm gonna hit you with a special move. I do realize I need to start killing things, because, like, I am low on experience. I don't want another Nemona to happen, is the point. Which is why I also fought Happini, because I'm assuming it's going to give me more experience than other things. Yeah, it seemed okay. Alright. Now then. Chesto Besto. Anyways. So this is the way the game works now, though, is basically we have free reign to just kind of go wherever we want to and do whatever we want. So, that's kind of fun. It's this guy! I don't know if I'm going to use one on my team, because I used one in my last playthrough, but this is Knackly, and I love it. And it only gets better when it evolves. So, get in the ball, Knackly. I don't think it's going to remain a permanent team member, but I have an empty slot anyway. And I'll name her Alex. Because you will see, she becomes Minecraft, and it is amazing. I love the Nacli line. They are awesome. And also just very useful in general. So. Wow, Vespiquen already? Okay. That surprises me. There's just a wild Vespiquen hanging out around here. It's probably higher level than everything else. Ooh. Okay, so here's a thing that I should... Actually, I should end the episode. I just realized how long it's been going on for. Alright, well, the good news is we're out of the tutorial, we're out of the intro, so now everything is just going to be whatever the heck I want it to be. So, next time on Let's Play Pokemon Scarlet, we're gonna continue, and it'll be a fun, cool time. And because of where I positioned the camera, I am riding nothing. Isn't that cool? I'm like Wonder Woman. Alright, so next time we're gonna get to see what that sparkly thing is, if you don't already know. Hooray! See you next time.